Hey guys, 1 minute to the close. Gonna kind of go over our ideas. Look at this. This is a 1 minute candle. This is madness on our MEG. You're telling me they're not buying that on weakness? Goes down to 22 in 1 minute, back up to 23. That back, I mean, it's crazy. This was a beautiful one. The great thing about this is, and I felt comfortable buying this right off the bat, I bought 600 shares, 400 and 200 a lot, was that it opened up close to the offering price. I liked it fundamentally, and the direction was very clear, which we hardly ever get these days. And you can see right out of the get-go, a little pennant formation, and then it popped it to the upside. In the very beginning, it was a little sketchy trying to figure out, like, if you were just looking at this time frame in here, you're like, okay, which way is this thing going to go? Opens up, and they popped it at the open to 17, then it pulled back, and then it made a new low. But the base of the body of the candle was very symmetrical. Three points there. And you try to look for a close over, a couple of bodies, candle bodies, and then you get that in here. So you start to see that it's starting to build a little bit of energy. And next thing you know, this thing was off to the races. Beautiful trading on that one. Our target price was 21s. We got that and then some. And then into the close, it gets a little bit whippy. But I'm holding some over at 600 shares. I'm holding 200 over. And that was a beautiful intraday move. Now you can kind of see, how this is a very defined pattern intraday. Once it starts to get a little history behind us, it starts to develop some consistency and this upward trending bias, buying in here, buying in here, buying in here, and then it pops, and now you're at a new level. It starts to wedge, and then you pop again, back test, buying in here, and then closes close to the top of the day, which is exactly what we want to see. Which could be a little bit of an emotional buy on the close, and nothing that we want to gauge as far as where we expect it to head tomorrow. Low 24 seems possible now, but obviously you're going to want to buy this on pullbacks and weakness, 20, 90, 21. I don't know. We'll see. It might gap up in the morning. That was a fantastic trade for us. I mean, we had a very narrow focus on today. I did notice the Qs breaking down, and I probably should have texted you guys, but I did expect this channel line to be touched at some point. But when we broke this line up here, these are why I draw these lines intraday. It sends me little alerts because it takes me time to kind of look at these lines and figure out, where the points of energy are at, where the price points are at. So when we start to break here, I did get into some SQQQ. And then you can see I was monitoring it here. 623 I got in. I bought a couple thousand shares. I did sell it a little bit early. I did not, once we got onto this level and we popped back up, that reversal seemed pretty strong. And I got out, and then kind of we pulled back down. I do expect this line to be hit at some point tomorrow, and maybe penetrated as well, and we could go down and retest this lower channel. And these are lines that you'll see on the daily 1 year that come into play. And we've lost a little steam here. I mean, that's a definitive top on the Qs for right now. This definitely needs more time because this was an overextension blow off, and those aren't easily overcome. It takes time. We've always talked about time as being a huge factor in price movement. So you can see literally touching the channel there, and it looks like we're probably going to break the channel and maybe come back down inside the white channel or even the yellow channel. Wouldn't be crazy. But that's kind of how we have to set up our trades. If the macro markets are definitively to the downside, we're going to have to be a little bit shorter time frame on swings and a little bit quicker to take profits intraday on stocks. So that was that. We did have a nice trade. Hopefully you guys are using channel lines and stops. We had liquidity. It was Liquid Media. Had a weird ticker symbol too for Liquid Media, and I'm not sure why. And then we'll go into some other stuff. LRN, we couldn't get above the 50 again. In pre-market, it looked like it was not really getting much price rejection, but as soon as the market opened up and there was enough liquidity for the big traders to get out, they sold into it. Hasn't really broken trend. It's holding that 45, and it's getting resistance at 50. which is it's going to be probably a few more days at least of sideways consolidation before that can break that to the upside. Over the long term, we said our target is low 60s. So, and then let's see, Ramble kind of pissed me off today. I know that we didn't talk about that in the morning call, but this was a weird move intraday, and I still kind of like this thing. I don't know why. On Ramble, RMBL, and I literally missed a beautiful trade in this. As it started to push up, first of all, the move was pretty intense. This little break out of the cup and handle. Volume is important too, and you can see nothing happening. And you start to get a little volume pickup, and then you pop it, and then you get this little wedge formation. It pops that, and it took off to the upside. It's a big move. 2080 to 24 in no time. These are 1 minute candles, so within 10 minutes you're up, 30%. I did not have this on the list, and then it kind of breaks down, and then you're thinking, my God, we went from 20 to 24, and now we're all the way back down here. So when it hit this level, I kept my eye on it, and I drew a trend line and kind of watched it back test in this area here. And then once it popped through, I actually bought in here, and my stop was literally a little too tight, and I probably was the sucker that sold the low of this 1 minute candle before they ran it back up to 24 again, which I would not have expected. And then we back test, here, and then it kind of folds into the close. But RMBL is still interesting on my watch list. I don't know, something about that stock. TNXP, still holding some shares of that. We had a nice move. Talked about the $128, $1.29. Actually $1.40 on that one. The one that we were talking about on the $1.29 was from this morning, the liquid media. And that was a nice trade, but the problem is it just came undone at the end. So hopefully YVR is a ticker symbol, go figure, for liquid media. This is the one we had in the morning call. We really had a narrow focus, like I said. MEG and this were the only two ones we really wanted to talk about. And then obviously we talked a little bit about some other stocks that we're currently holding, but look at the move from, even if you got in at 224, I'm sorry, I was saying one, but 224 was our support level. We didn't want to see it go below 195 on a close for a buy and hold, and obviously it broke there, but nice move from there. And these are Fibonacci fan lines, so it kind of hits the Fibonacci fan, hits it again, and then pulls back and breaks it, and then it kind of back tests it and then fires up and pushes through it. Once we got this move here, I was thinking this may actually go out and break high of the day, so my target was 320. But then once you start to break down and not hold this line in here, if this is going to be a continuation move, you're going to pull back, you break here, you're going to retest here, you're going to push through, but it should not break that back down below this line if we're going to have a continuation move. So we broke it, and these are 1 minute, like I said. You back test it. On a 5 minute, you'll probably see it stop right here, the top of it, and it won't be able to push through there on a 5 minute close, and then they failed. And after that, it was donezo, so it just kept trending lower. I didn't touch it after that. Hopefully you guys got out. It was a nice scalp, and we'll leave it at that. But MEG was the beautiful, beautiful trade of the day. Hoping everybody made money on that. And like I said, I had 600. I held 200 into the close, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I probably could have sold there for an extra $180 and got back in at 22. But my last position, I don't want to tinker with. I think we'll be good to go. I think it's an interesting company, and in longer term, it's kind of COVID proof. And I talked about it in the morning video. So our trades worked out nicely today. I'm happy with that. And also was trading Tesla today too. I don't know if I discussed this one. I've done a couple of videos and had to redo them. So if I'm redundant, I apologize. But Tesla's one as a go-to. Tesla and Shop when the market's super weak. The problem with Shop is that we're kind of gravitating up towards the top end of the channel. So I'm a little bit less apt to buy Shop, SHOP, on weakness. But Tesla crushed the earnings. It's not available to shorter. I probably would have shorted it today. And Thinkorswim sucks. TD Ameritrade doesn't have shares to short. But with this first wave back down and then this pop back up, I probably would have shorted it right here with a stop at 1,597, and I would have had a nice move to the downside. But if you look at this on an intraday and you put in your VWAP, Tesla's a great stock to trade. You'll see that You'll see that every time it gets to the lower channel, our yellow bands on the yellow band on the VWAP, as long as the RSI is below 30, it always gets bought. So here you break the yellow band, the RSI is below 30. You want to see it get back up above 30, and then you can do your entry and set your stop. Once again, you're breaking the yellow, but you don't want to buy right when it breaks the yellow. You want to see a little bit of consolidation, and then you want to watch your RSI go below 30 and then back up above 30. So once you're back up above 30, you're showing a little bit of relative strength, and you can kind of buy and then set your stop below that other candle, and you catch these little bounces. Here's another instance, and then the bounce. And then it was kind of trend line for me after that. I was kind of figuring out. I traded a couple trades along the trend line here, a couple bounce trades, and then when it popped the wedge, I set my stop thinking, okay, if this is going to be a continuation move, but then it had a little bit of a triple top in here, and it failed, so I was out. But Tesla was a fun trade today. Tomorrow's another day. We have no idea where this is going to be at. We can look on the daily 1 year and see. But with the weakness in the Qs, you might get some follow through tomorrow. Which is better setups for us for reversals. I can't just keep playing the momentum game to the upside. It makes it a little bit difficult. But that is it for now. AMCX still holding a small position. LRN still holding a small position. But MEG, our focus stocks worked out well, and that's all we want. I'll talk to you guys soon.